Hey, my friends, I am so excited. We have another great episode of Drawing with Your Kids, and our guest today is coming to us from Idaho, where he's in the desert, and there's like lots of snow outside his house. I don't know how that works, but anyways, he's here to help us learn how to draw cold turkey. Please welcome to the show, Chad Otis. Hey, Chad, how are you?
Hi, Jed. Thanks for having me. I'm great out here in the snowy desert.
Yeah. I never thought it snowed in the desert. I'm like learning all sorts of stuff.
The high desert. It's like 3,000 feet elevation. So it's they call it high desert because it's literally higher. So
it's little that's good reason to call it that. Yeah. Awesome. Not too long ago, I had Kirsty Call on the show talking about her book Cold Turkey, and Kirsty doesn't live that far from us, and we had a good time joking about all the really vicious wild turkeys that live here in Massachusetts, and they really are vicious. They attack people.
Yeah, she told me about that.
But so cold turkey sounds like a much more chill animal.
Totally, he is chill. Very, very well said.
Yeah. So you're going to teach us how to draw a cold turkey today.
That's the idea. Yeah, hopefully it works out. I think it will. It's pretty simple when you break it down into simple shapes like I will.
Awesome. All right, here we go.
Okay, let's draw cold turkey. There he is. Cold turkey is, believe it or not, made out of mostly simple shapes like circles and triangles and some lines. And so before we draw him, let me show you something. When I was a kiddo, drawing pictures, drew lots of pictures, I loved books like this by Ed Emberley. Ed Emberley draws animals and a whole bunch of other stuff, really simple shapes. And this book is about animals, and I'll show you one in particular here. It's a bird, like cold turkey. And that bird is made out of a half circle plus triangle, plus a circle, plus another triangle for the beak, and then some lines and a dot and a little bit of attitude once you got it all in there, and you made a bird. So when I draw things, anything really, I think about simple shapes. You can see some other animals in here, like a pond, a turtle, and a fish, all drawn with simple shapes and some lines and some little doodads and stuff for attitude once you get to the end. Okay, now let's draw cold turkey. Today, I'm just gonna use a pencil. So I've got a soft pencil. It's kind of fancy, but you can just use a regular pencil or even a crayon if you want to. And I'm also gonna use an imaginary pencil. And you probably have one of these, but you probably can't see mine. That's because it's actually a real pencil, but I call it an imaginary pencil, and I'll show you why. And it's again because when I draw something like cold turkey, I like to make him out of simple shapes. So I draw them kind of lightly. So there's a sloppy circle. That's how I draw things, kind of sloppy. Here's another circle. Here's another circle. Cold turkey's made out of 3 circles, and cold turkey's also made out of 3 triangles. About like that. You see that? Made out of other stuff, but kind of like Ed Emberley's drawings. We're going to start by making him out of those simple shapes. Maybe I'll just put this over here so we can see it. Okay. So we're going to start with a big circle. That big circle is going to be cold turkey's body. Okay. Now we're going to take one of our triangles, like that, and that goes right about there. See? With my imaginary pencil. imaginary because I just kind of draw it lightly. I'm imagining a cold turkey made out of a circle and a big triangle, okay? Now I'm gonna draw another imaginary circle right here, right? Now I'm gonna draw another imaginary triangle right there. See that? It's a big triangle. And one more imaginary triangle. It's gonna go right there, okay? So, believe it or not, that is mostly what cold turkey's made out of. Now let's do the rest. And if you want to, you can do it like I do. I like to go back and erase some of the imaginary lines, right? And that's an imaginary line. These are imaginary lines. These are imaginary lines. These are imaginary lines from the simple shapes. And then you can really start to see how cold turkey might be in there somewhere, right? Okay, let's take our real pencil. Put away the imaginary pencil. And let's draw some real lines. So, just one big straight line. One other big straight line. Okay. And then another straight line. Let's draw the straight lines first. They're the easier ones. Another one down here. And another one over there. Okay. Now let's draw the beak, which is just a big triangle. And out of 3 straight lines. Right? Now the circles. Those are a little harder, at least for me. Maybe you're good at circles. But that one goes there. Big circle. Or a small circle, I guess. And then this is the big circle. And it comes all the way there to there. See that? Now, we won't even use our imaginary pencil for this one, but we're going to draw another half circle. So we just imagined the whole circle and just drew part of the circle, right? Now, another half circle. Imagine a whole circle right here, right? First cheek, but only draw a part of the circle, like that, right? And then we can draw some ovals, which are kind of like a circle. Let's go there. There's eyes, obviously. And then give him some little eyebrows. And he always looks a little surprised to me. Like, funny, it makes him funny. So his eyes are kind of like this. Kind of dots, kind of filled in circles, right? Now let's give him some legs. So he has something to stand on. He's just been floating here. Those are just lines. And then his feet can just be kind of part triangles. So just imagine triangles again, right? And then let's draw, here's another shape, pretty simple shape. And it just goes squiggle, squiggle. So that's another shape that goes on him. That goes right here, squiggle, squiggle, just a couple of waves. And that, on a turkey, is called a waddle. A lot of people know that. A lot of people don't know, though, is that when we draw this half circle up here, and this other half circle, and a straight line, that's the part of the turkey that goes on top of its head, usually red like the waddle is. That's called a snood. That's a funny word, snood. Okay, we're almost done. Now, just put a couple more lines in here. And then some kind of half oval, half circles for feathers. right? I just like to put enough on there so that everybody knows he's feathery bird. And if you want to, you can put a couple of little nostrils there. Birds have nostrils right there on their beaks. Okay, so that is cold turkey made out of pretty simple shapes. Now, maybe it's gonna snow a little bit here. Just gonna use the side of my pencil to make a little bit of a snowstorm, because it wouldn't be cold turkey if it wasn't a little bit cold. I also like to make some kind of triangles to make him cold, so he's shivering, right? Triangle, 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 triangle. Maybe a couple of lines, because he's really cold. His knees are shivering too. What do you think? That's cold turkey. He's made out of simple shapes, like Ed Emberley does, and like I do. And he looks about like that. He gets a little more complex when you put all the clothes on him and stuff, but all together, cold turkey is just some circles and some triangles and some lines. That's it. Thanks for watching me draw him. Thanks for drawing him with me. Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, Chad, that was fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much.
Hey, you bet. It's my pleasure. I love drawing. I love explaining how I draw, and working with Corey and Christy on the book and getting to make up cold turkey and all his friends was a total blast. So I hope everybody got to learn to draw a little turkey.
And one of the things I loved is that you shared how you learned.
Yeah, in fact, like I said in the video, when I was growing up, I really did love these Ed Emberley books because it broke it down into simple shapes. I could draw just about anything with circles and squares and triangles and lines. And, he breaks it into this kind of step-by-step thing. So even when something looks pretty complex, pretty hard to draw in the end, if you really kind of break it down, it can be those simple shapes. And that's how I like to think about things. It makes it easier for me. And I think it makes for better characters too, because you can recognize them more easily in silhouette.
Yeah. And the thing that's funny, since I started doing the Drawing with Your Kids show, I'm starting to see shapes when I'm looking at pictures.
Right. Yeah, that's what I do too. And I was thinking that when I did the showing how to draw cold turkey, is that you do start to see things in the simple shapes and break them down that way, and it does make it easier when you go back to make something up and draw something. All
right. Well, it's time for me to show you what I did with cold turkey.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. So here we go. And let me move the microphone here.
That is fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Now, I made a mistake because
I don't see it.
Okay. Well, I wasn't able to. I used my wife. My wife loves doing watercolors.
Oh, okay.
I used one of her fancy watercolor papers, and it's really hard to erase.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I did a little bit too dark.
The imaginary pencil didn't.
The imaginary pencil. Yeah. Mine should have been a little bit more imaginary.
Well, it still looks great. I think it's fun.
Thank you. Now, if a kid out there draws this and decides that he wants to post it on Instagram, can they tag you?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. I pretty sure my Instagram is at Chad's Books.
Right.
I think you'll probably put it in the link there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that'd be fantastic if they want to post them and tag me.
Excellent. Yeah. And where can people go to find out more about all the great books that you've helped create?
You can go to, or they can go to chadotis.com. It's just my name and then .com. And I put a bunch of stuff there. That's probably the best place to go. Or you can go just about anywhere like barnesandnoble.com, or bookshop.org or even Amazon.com, and just put in my name or cold turkey or anything like that, and then all my books will show up there.
Yeah, and definitely check out Cold Turkey. I have a copy. It is a lot of fun. Illustrations are great, and it's a really, really fun story.
Awesome.
Chad, thank you so much for being with us.
You bet. I was glad to be here.